Hi, in this example problem we're going to talk about generation and radiation. This example problem states a spherical reaction vessel, so this could be a chemical reaction happening, contains an exothermic reaction that generates heat at the volumetric rate shown in the figure. So that volumetric rate is 50 kilowatts per cubic meter. Assuming that the vessel is exposed to large surroundings at a uniform temperature, that the vessel radiates energy uniformly, and that the system is at steady state, what is the outer surface temperature of the vessel, T sub S? In this problem you can neglect convection. The outer surface has an emissivity of 0.78, has an inner radius of 1 meter, and an outer radius of 1.1 meters. Okay, so let's take some time. It's really important to stop and think about the problem and make sure you understand what's happening conceptually. So we have energy being generated inside. Now that energy, this is all happening inside this spherical reaction vessel, so that energy's got to get out somehow, right? It's being generated, so this thermal energy is being generated, and really what's happening is the chemical energy from the reaction is being converted into thermal energy. But because our energy balance will just deal with thermal energy, we'll treat that generation term as if we're just being generated and not converted from chemical to thermal. So we want to know, so we're told that we have energy being generated. Ultimately, energy is leaving this outer surface by radiation. And presumably energy from this reaction inside is probably, it's going to be convecting. We'll assume that this reaction is a fluid, happening in a fluid of some sort. So we're going to have convective energy taking heat to this inner wall. Then we're going to have heat conducting through that wall by conduction. So we have convection here, conduction through the wall, and then radiation out here. So we have three modes of heat transfer happening in series, and we are not equipped to deal with that kind of a problem yet. However, let's look at the problem that we're actually asked. We're asked to find what is the surface temperature. So let's try to just put an energy balance on this thing and see if that can generate an equation that could be useful to us. So we want to know something about this surface temperature, T sub S. So it would be really useful if we could produce an equation that has Ts in it. So if we have an equation that has Ts in it, hopefully we can solve that equation with Ts as an unknown. So what type of an equation can give us Ts? So we could do a surface balance as we did in the last example problem and just look at this outer shell. Sorry, that's just the outer shell. So it's a surface energy balance around the outer wall. I'll try and draw that a little bit better. It's just not easy on a computer to do this. So we could do a surface balance, and that would certainly have this radiation going out of the surface. That would have conduction coming into that surface, and we don't really know much about what that temperature profile looks like. Remember, to quantify conduction, we're going to need to know something about the gradient of the temperature profile, and we don't know anything about it yet. So I would suggest that we could actually do a control volume around the entire sphere and include everything inside. So let's try that, because this will still, what's leaving this control volume is still going to be this radiative heat transfer. So our out term is still going to be Q radiation, which will still be dependent on this outer surface temperature. So let's do a control volume and consider everything that's happening inside. And this may seem like a complex problem, but hopefully you'll see how easy this can really be. So again, we're going to write down the key terms of our energy balance. We have accumulation, we have in, out, and then we have generation. So we want to carefully think through each of those terms. So our accumulation term, again, is the change in energy with time. What is changing with time? Well, we are told that the system is at steady state. So our dE dt is just actually 0. We don't have to worry about accumulation because everything is at steady state. Okay, so how is energy getting into our system? Is it convecting in? Is it conducting in? Is it coming in? Do we just have a known flux coming in? So none of those things is true. Nothing is coming into our system. So our in term in this case is actually 0. We have nothing coming in, and we're assuming that all this heat being generated is going to have to get out somehow, so we will have an out term, but there's nothing coming in. There's no net rate of heat transfer coming in, just the generation term, which we'll get to later. All right, how is energy getting out? So we have energy leaving by radiation. So assuming that our surface temperature is hotter than the surroundings temperature, again, we don't know what our surface temperature is, but let's make this assumption, and that'll help us get our signs right for this out term at least. So the energy leaving is going to be specified by the Stefan-Boltzmann Law. And notice that we have a vessel exposed to large surroundings and everything is happening uniformly, so we can use that simplified version of the Stefan-Boltzmann Law, which tells us that energy leaves by radiation according to the emissivity of the outer surface, which we know, sigma, which is the Stefan-Boltzmann constant. That's not here, but that's something you could Google or look it up in your textbook. It's a constant. It's a very well-known number. So sigma times epsilon, and then our driving force here is the surface temperature to the fourth power minus the temperature of the surroundings to the fourth power. And this is going to give us heat transfer in terms of flux, but we actually want the total rate of heat transfer. So we're going to need to multiply that by an area. So what area would we use? We would need to use the outer surface area. Remember, it's radiating out from this outer area, so we would need to use the outer radius to specify that outer area. So we're going to say AO, which stands for outer area, and AO, just to be very thorough, is going to be equal to 4 pi times the outer radius squared. So that is what we'll substitute in for AO eventually. Okay, we also have a generation term. Remember, this reaction is exothermic and it is generating heat. So this is our first time dealing with radiation so far in this class. With generation in this class. So we need to look at this, and here units can help us. So this is a volumetric generation term. So per unit volume, this is how much heat we generate. So our generation term is going to be Q dot, but then we need to multiply that by a volume. This is how much heat you generate per unit volume of what's happening inside the sphere. So we need to quantify the total unit volume. So what volume do we use? We're actually going to use the inner volume because it's only generating in here inside the reaction vessel. So we need to use the inner radius here, and we're going to use V sub I. So V sub I would be 4/3 pi times our inner radius cubed. So that's eventually what will go in here as our inner volume term. So now we will compile our equation. Remember, it's accumulation equals in minus out plus generation. So we're going to take all these terms and put them into an equation form. So we get 0 is equal to our in term, epsilon times sigma times A times our surface temperature to the fourth minus the temperature of our surroundings to the fourth. And we need to remember this is the outer surface area coming in, or our generation term was Q dot times our inner volume. So now we have one equation and we have one unknown. Oh, and I made a mistake there. Our out term needs to be subtracted. So we have that first term leaving the system. Generation is coming into our system. Okay, so we have one equation, one unknown. So we need, everything is known here. So known, 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 or at least we can solve for that with the outer radius. This is unknown. Surrounding temperature is known, generation term is known, and the volume is known. So now if we solve for our surface temperature, we get our surface temperature is equal to, and again, I would always encourage you to do this very carefully algebraically first. We have Q dot times our inner volume divided by epsilon times sigma times our outer surface area plus the temperature of our surroundings to the fourth, and then we need to take this whole quantity and take that to the 1/4 power. If we plug and chug everything in there, we end up getting a temperature of 750.6 Kelvin. So we want to be really careful in this problem to use the absolute temperature. Let's go ahead and do a quick unit check just to make sure we're getting everything right. So let's first look at this term. So we have Q dot is, and actually that was given to us in kilowatts, so we'd want to convert that to watts. So I did that already. I skipped all the algebra here, so I'd encourage you to go through and verify all of this for yourself. So we have Q dot, which has watts per meter cubed, and again that Q dot was 50 kilowatts per meter cubed, so this is actually 50,000 watts per meter cubed, times our inner volume, which is going to be cubic meters. Then in our denominator we have sigma, which is unitless, epsilon, the emissivity is unitless, my apologies. Sigma, the Stefan-Boltzmann constant, has units, and it has units of watts per meter squared Kelvin to the fourth. And then our outer surface area has units of meters squared. So what units do we get out of all this? Those two cancel out, the watts cancel out, meter squared cancel out, and we end up with Kelvin to the fourth. This is obviously a temperature to the fourth power, so Kelvin to the fourth. And then once we raise those quantities to the 1/4 power, we get Kelvin. So our unit check, it checks out. We do this problem algebraically and conceptually first, and then we use unit check as just to make sure we got everything right. And this is certainly a nice way to check your work, and we got the right units here, so that's a great sign.